What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another post-game live stream as the New York Knicks go on to fall to the Charlotte Hornets at Madison Square Garden, the final score being 125 to 114. First off, credit to the Charlotte Hornets. They won this game fair and square. They were the better basketball team down the stretch. They stepped up when it mattered most, and they played smarter when it mattered most, as definitely they were looking for revenge, as you could say. We pretty much took care of business versus them the last time we played them in Charlotte. We had great contribution from RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin. It was a pretty versatile game when it came to the overall personnel, and we know the whole storyline entering this game that Julius Randle has requested a trade. So we're like, is this going to mess with the overall chemistry of this game? Are we going to go on to fall short? Like due to this game, and it's just going to look like a mess. As you guys know, Julius Randle got booed when they introduced his name, but the game definitely did look ugly from the very start. I believe we didn't score our first points until like a couple minutes in, and it was actually from the charity stripe. We were really turning the ball over. We weren't taking the best of shots, and I actually liked the way the Hornets were playing. They looked like a collective unit. They looked like they're very energized and motivated compared to the last time we played them. But I actually thought we did a good job overcoming adversity after turning the ball over. I thought RJ Barrett had a tremendous first quarter. What he finished with, like he had double digits in that first quarter. He did a good job wheeling and dealing, as Walt Frazier says. He did a good job driving to the basket. Really, there was one push shot that I really liked of his, but I liked the way RJ Barrett played in the first quarter. I actually liked the way Burks played. You could say overall in that first half wasn't the best in the second half, but he finished with 10 rebounds. Julius Randle, he hit a couple ridiculous threes from beyond the arc. So I was like, is Randle motivated? Is he going to play very well in this basketball game? And then after those first couple threes, you could say he took some unnecessary shots. But again, you could say also like this offense is so extremely bland. And credit to Evan Fournier. I thought Evan Fournier, like fan expectations were just being real with Evan Fournier of who he's been throughout his NBA career, he's had a good game. We know he's not the best defensive player. He's going to have some stupid turnovers, but he was an extremely efficient shooter of the basketball, an overall scorer of the basketball. I actually thought he was pretty versatile with those leaners, with those floaters. He knocked down shots from the outside. But I feel like what really hurt us in this overall game was not constantly feeding the hot hand, and we got absolutely demolished inside. And also, their bench absolutely murdered our bench. So Obi was our second leading scorer off the bench. Like like when it came to the bench, he only had 3 points, didn't play that much. Quickly at 18, but most of those 18 points were like all in the fourth quarter. While you take a look at the Hornets side, Kelly Oubre had over 20. You had Cody Martin producing. You had Montrezl Harrell killing us. Like they just had a more versatile all around game when it came to just everyone pretty much scoring the basketball. LaMelo Ball, I believe he passed his career high in assist. He did a good job dribble penetrating, facilitating, setting guys up. Just he plays with so much confidence. He's insane. But I thought we played decent the first couple quarters, at least offensively. I thought we fell in love with the three-point shot too much, but the defense was just absolutely horrendous. The defense was awful. There was miscommunications of rotations. Just everything pretty much went bad defensively. So RJ Barrett finished with 18 points, I believe, in that first quarter. He finished with, or first quarter, first half, he finished with 25 points. And I'm not going to just put it on Randall. So when that third quarter comes around, I believe RJ Barrett only took 3 shots. RJ Barrett only took 3 shots in that third quarter, I believe. We barely got him involved at all, which was just very awful. And he just kind of got out of the flow of the game. You could say there were several plays. There has to be something going on. I'm not all trying to put this on Randall. You could put it on Tibbs as well. That like Tibbs needs to tell Randall, just freaking give the ball to RJ, make the proper read. I don't know if that's just Randall's basketball IQ not being the best, or I think it's a little bit of both. He can't read the floor, but also there's something going on. There was several times RJ called for the ball to like hand it off to him, or Randall would see him wide open, swing it to the other side of the court, or make a cross court pass or whatever, throw it in the corner to Burks when he could have just made the simpler read. It's just so unnecessary. To give credit to Randall though, he wasn't extremely inefficient. When I take a look back at the numbers, I don't think he was that inefficient. I think he ended up scoring 9 points in that third quarter, but there were still plays like he's not even trying defensively. But then we saw plays as well that he was really hustling. We know he did a good job on the boards. He still finished with nearly like 10 assists, but he could have had way more if he just like made the proper read at times. But we know he's going to take those wild shots. But I feel like in the fourth quarter, when we were starting to come back quickly is probably our most clutch player in the fourth quarter. If I'm being completely real with you guys, he continues to step up over and over again. If it's huge threes, drawing fouls, he brings us so much momentum. He was unbelievable in the fourth quarter. Obviously, Tom Thibodeau yanked him out of the game. And Tom Thibodeau does a terrible job of matching the right personnel together. When RJ and Randall's out there on the court together, you just know it's not going to work out. I love seeing RJ and Obi together because I love seeing Obi with anybody out there on the floor because you know the ball's going to move. You know he's going to give it up when the right shot isn't there. Again, he barely played, but just something the Knicks couldn't afford to do. We were trading baskets like crazy. We were down 12 points, the most we were down. We were up 6, which is the most we were up in this game. But the Hornets pretty much getting contribution from everyone. Harrell killed us inside. Like, it's not even that he had a crazy amount of rebounds. I believe he finished with like 5 rebounds, but it's just he happened to have like 3 and ones, or Plumlee happened to have some nice plays in the inside as well. But obviously, the elephant in the room, besides quickly being huge in that fourth quarter, was there a miscommunication of switches? And RJ Barrett, I know he's been playing great basketball lately, at least offensively. You could say he's fell off defensively since that ankle injury. But I don't want to just put it on RJ because I'm not a coach. I don't know when they're supposed to switch. I don't know what's supposed to happen all the time. But Miles Bridges alone, after we cut it to like a 6 point game at one point, but it just kept on being very back and forth because of defense. Bridges alone went on a 10-0 run. If it was we were allowing him to cut back door, maybe someone didn't make a proper switch. Just the amount of times in the fourth quarter we left someone wide open outside on the perimeter. This game could have been a lot worse, but we left Terry Rozier wide open. We left PJ Washington wide open, which he hit a huge three, not a dagger shot, but he hit a huge three. We made them feel way too comfortable. The defense was just absolutely atrocious. It was so bad. It was so terrible to watch, but Miles Bridges pretty much put the exclamation point on top, or put the cherry on top of this win for the Hornets, at least down the stretch. I like that we fought. You could see these guys are still fighting for Tom Thibodeau, but their bench killed us. I thought they got more contribution from like their overall team, low basketball IQ, not feeding the hot hand. And it's really easy to say we could blame Randall because of the storyline entering this game, but Randall had a huge and one in the fourth quarter. He could have played a lot worse. He didn't play fantastic, but I thought he played okay. I thought he did actually a solid job turning it around in the second half. We see his body language is still pissed poor, and I thought we could have took advantage of Plumlee more with lobs, finding a Mitchell Robinson. He didn't do much offensively. He still finished with like 10 boards, but the rotations were just piss poor and trash by Tom Thibodeau. But the Hornets got revenge. They came out victorious, and I want to know your guys' thoughts. Like, and like mathematically, we weren't eliminated from the play-in. We would have needed the Hawks to just win one more game, or and then lose the rest. But technically, the play-in is like officially over, so we could put that to sleep. But I appreciate you guys being here. Let's see what we got here. Once a Nick, always a Nick says Tibbs uses this game to experiment on defense. Shaking my head. But yeah, what were your guys' thoughts on this game? Let me know in the chat. Drew says I didn't watch much of this game. Well, I appreciate being here, Drew. First off, he says I didn't watch much of this game, but why did Tibbs sub out quick? He was going off in the fourth quarter. That's just what I mentioned. I don't understand it. Like, he doesn't have a problem giving so many minutes to certain guys, but when it matters most, he takes them out of the game. It just makes no sense to me. Trade Randall. We'll see what happens, man. I'll be real. I'm not a huge fan of the plane either. Tricky Nicky in the house. Oh yeah, and I did see your comment. I'm not gonna have anyone on tonight, but I would definitely like to have you on in a live stream sometime, Tricky Nicky. Just not tonight, because sometimes I could just talk so much, and I have school tomorrow. Why would he take out quickly when he was? Yeah. Let's see what else. Yeah, Randall. Yeah, I agree. Like, RJ and Fournier have great chemistry, sharing shot attempts compared to RJ and Randall. I like the way Fournier played tonight. If you're being realistic with who Evan Fournier is as a basketball player, he played well. And that's on the Knicks organization as well. You know, Fournier is not the best defender coming in, so You have to get the right pieces in free agency if it's coming off the bench, like to make certain rotations to disguise those things defensively. But we know Fournier is kind of limited as a defensive player due to not having the best of athleticism. He has shown that he can make like a crazy pickpocket steal at times, but we know keeping up with those athletic guys. But what did you guys think was the absolute turning point? Obviously, we can go to Miles Bridges having those 10 straight points, and I believe he finished with like 31. He was absolutely unbelievable. Um, let's see. Drew says, I feel that clutch. I'm doing homework for college right now as I'm watching the stream. Well, I really appreciate that, man. I actually have some college stuff going on. I had to send in an application for college. Well, there's those rumors, Jay Sniper. I think a tweet came out where he said something. Well, I forgot what he said in quote. Like, oh, here we go again. I don't remember what he said. But I know a lot of Knicks fans want to trade for Mitchell. There's those rumors. Am I gonna fall for them this time? Because I've fallen for them a million times as a Knicks fan. We're gonna get this star, we're gonna trade for him and all that. Obviously, I would freaking love Donovan Mitchell. First off, let's play a little like fantasy land here. Let's play a little fairy tale. Imagine freaking RJ and Donovan Mitchell. Holy shit. Oh my. Oh, I'm not even. Oh. He's from New York. The vets playing the whole third quarter into the fourth. That was a turning point. I completely agree with you, man. I agree with you. Once a Nick, always a Nick. That's definitely one of the reasons. His rotations were trash. We know his rotations aren't the greatest, though. Did I go to an NBA game this season? No. It's hard for me to go to Knicks games. First off, because I live in South Jersey, so I'm far away from Manhattan. There's so many Sixers fans here. So when I do go to Knicks games, it's against the Sixers, and I haven't gone to a last. Guys, you want to know the last time I went to a Knicks game? So I live far from Manhattan, or I live far from Madison Square Garden, and obviously the virus stuff that was going on is going on and all that. So it's even more difficult. Sixers tickets are expensive if I want to see a Sixers Knicks game. Um, Last time I went to a Knicks game, we had Damian Dotson, we had Frank Ntilikina, we had Luke Cornett, we had Tim Hardaway Jr., we had Moutier. That's the last time I went to a Knicks game. And we won. Dotson dropped 30. It was against Miami. And I think it was D Wade's, was it his second game at the Garden? Or his last game at the Garden? I'm trying to remember. It might have been like his second to last game at the Garden. I know, Tricky Nicky. I'm not trying to get like too excited here. Wait, is that the game that we came back a sports fan? Is that the game that we had that crazy comeback? I think, what did RJ have? Like, he had double digits in the fourth quarter. That was an unbelievable basketball game. That really was, because we played like shit all up into the fourth quarter. And I remember screaming, and I just remember screaming, like, let's go, RJ. Because I remember making a recap video on that. I remember that. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Yo, what's going on, Pudge? He says, salute my guy, Clutch. What's going on, Pudge? So, and by the way, I decided to go live. It's at the point of the season. It's pretty much over, and I just want to hear your guys' perspective, or I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the season. And I love doing recap videos. It definitely does help for people that aren't able to catch the games. That's one of the main reasons I do them, and I just enjoy doing them. But the live streams are just, you could say, a lot more fun because I get to interact with you guys live and read your comments right after the game. But expect for like free agency, the draft. Like, I'm going live for the draft again. I may go live with my man Luca again. We'll see what happens. I don't understand why Tibbs has them playing a zone defense. It pisses me off when someone is open in the corner. Yeah, that's a main reason. Yeah, I could be hard on RJ, but in the fourth quarter, that should not be happening. It shouldn't. It's just unacceptable. Let's see what else. Because I missed some of these comments. Let's see. Trey Randall. Yeah, I read that. So I didn't see the ones all the way at the top because I was talking a lot. Hashtag RJ. RJ Can has to be a two-way player. Surround our third. Yeah, third pick. We need to surround him with more defenders, man. Yo, Ben was in here. Tibbs and Randall are married. It's like they're married clutch. All right, let me scroll all the way down. Damn, you guys dropping a lot of comments. I appreciate y'all. So Ben says, so is it true that Julius Randle, Tom Thibodeau share a hotel room? Oh yeah, my man, Typical Knicks. What's my man? I believe that's his username. I've talked to him about the Knicks. He made a troll Ian Begley account that they share a hotel room. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. So, what are your thoughts on the reports that Julius Randle, during when the Knicks players are getting hyped up before their intros or before they get announced in the starting lineup, like everyone's in that huddle, but Julius Randle's not there. He's shooting, he's doing his own thing, and that Julius Randle gets changed, like in another part of the locker room. Like, if that's true, oh my gosh, that's just immaturity, bro. Every time Randall could be mad at the organization, he could be mad at himself, but he should not be taking it out on the other players. Like, they don't really deserve that. Did Randall do that last year though? But I'll be real. That's a good point at Mage. Yeah, Randall's an introvert, but he freaking yells in people's faces like crazy. He's just a psycho. But let's be real here. No one would be talking about Randall not being in the huddle or not getting changed with his teammates and all that if we were winning games. Like, it was all different last year. Winning cures everything, honestly. Yeah, and Cam, I remember like Tibbs has done that before. Like, he's done that a few times this season, and it's unacceptable. Yeah, I see reports like he's asking for a James Harden like trade. He's not freaking James Harden. He's not James Harden. Like, oh, it's just, oh my gosh. And I'll say it again. Like I said in my video, I made a quick video. I'm still lukewarm with the reports. We don't know if they're true, but there's the other side of the coin. Like I mentioned, his body language is obviously terrible, and it looks like he doesn't want to be here. Even when he would have a huge play, I don't know, he'd still look upset. No matter what. But I don't know. We'll see if those reports are true or not. Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say at the top of my head. Something about Randall. Can't wait till Cam comes back. He should start small forward and RJ. Yeah, like Tibbs is gonna do that. I wish. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So as much as Randall's been frustrating me, and he's kind of been unprofessional about these things going on here, and I'm interested to see what he's gonna say in the press conference if he goes. I'm interested to watch that afterwards. I wish Randall the best of luck. Like, I really do. He is still a human being at the end of the day. And he should go to a small market, but like with less attention on him, because clearly he doesn't thrive with a lot of attention on him. He needs to go back to a market like he was playing at, like in New Orleans or something like that. But this is the thing. After Randall was 8th in MVP voting, the most improved player, he was hitting crazy fadeaways, hitting crazy shots from the outside. Is he going to listen to a coach and be like, yeah, I'm going to accept a lesser role? Will he do that? He has no choice. He has to. Wherever he goes, the offense is probably going to be better, if I'm being completely real with you guys, but he needs to be in a role that he's doing less thinking. The best players, they could just thrive with the ball in their hands. They don't think. They just do. Randall does way too much thinking. Put in the comment section or put in the chat the amount of times we saw tonight. Randall, wide open three, pump fakes, takes a dribble, makes a pass, or chucks up a worse shot. We have seen that so many times. If Donovan Mitchell doesn't do that, Curry doesn't do that. The best players don't do that. They don't think. They just play basketball. Randall does way too much thinking. And I'll always say this. Randall is he's talented as fuck. He really is. He's a very talented player, but what gets in his way is himself. He is not there mentally as a basketball player consistently. That's why it's not a fluke when he plays good. It's just that he's there, like he has good mental health that game, or he's there mentally. But when he's off, you could just tell with his body language and he just overthinks shit so much. I love when he pump fakes 5 times trying to get a shot, but has to eventually pass. But I actually have a question for you guys. So let's go through the starting lineup. Let's go through some Knicks players, and you tell me a grade for the players. Alec Burks. Alec Burks, interesting performance. 12 points, wasn't efficient. 4-15. Thought he played well in the first half. Finished with like 4 or 5 assists. He actually had, I wonder how many rebounds he finished with. I know he had 10 rebounds in that first half. But what would you give Alec Burks? I just hope D Rose stays healthy next season. And Cam, yeah, yeah, Cam's gonna have to stay healthy. If he doesn't stay healthy next season, he's not gonna be a Knick. I heard some people say Julius Randle's like Carmelo Anthony. I'll never forget someone tweeted out, Julius Randle's peak is better than Chris Bosh's peak. B, let's see, Drew says, I just realized, isn't Julius' behavior just a more hyped up version of Carmelo Anthony's attitude problems when he had them? But I always say this though. No matter, even when Carmelo would get frustrated, whenever he did struggle, I don't think he ever blamed the fans. I always thought he was a pretty much like trying to remember. It's such a long time ago. I didn't think he was as unprofessional as Randall was. But yeah, you could say, yeah, Randall's been extra with it. C plus, yeah, I can see C plus. Wasn't terrible, just didn't hit the shots. Passing grade, not the best. All right, what do you guys give Evan Fournier? You could grade these however you want, but for what Fournier is, or just when you saw Fournier tonight, what do you grade him? I feel like Carmelo was less toxic than Randall. And I remember I was someone last year. I was like, no way. Like, he's just playing good because there's no fans. But I've really noticed it. Like, obviously, the fans booing him, like, just lowered his confidence a lot. But he plays better on the road than he does at home. I don't know if that's a bad take from me, but I feel like there's less pressure on Julius Randle when he's on the road. He just doesn't perform well with pressure. And we have to also think about it. It's not just the pressure thing. After having that type of year last year, defenses have really adjusted to him. Evans like a C to C plus tonight. Yo, what's going on, Carl? Bro, why did Burks play 40 minutes? Yeah, and why did quickly get yanked at the end of the game? And why did RJ have 18 in the first half and he finished with 25? Because freaking we froze him out. A lot of freaking things, man. I hope you're doing well outside of the Knicks. B. Don't talk about this game. How did Fournier play this game? Grade Fournier from this game. Unless you're going by today's game. Then yeah, I'm going by today's game. How did Fournier play, in your opinion, this game? Like, give me a grade. This is the thing, though. I'm not a big fan of booing players unless it's an opposing player. Like, when they're on the Knicks, right before the game starts, let them play the game first. And if you're playing like crap, then boo them. I'm not a big fan of booing someone before the game. That's just me. I know his attitude's been terrible and the reports came out. I'm still not sold on the reports. I do think he is requesting a trade, but just not seeing Ian Begley report it is kind of fishy to me, or Woj or Shams, you know what I mean? But let him at least play the game first. You give him a C, I'd still say B, B plus. For what Fournier is, I give him a B minus or a B tonight. If we're having reasonable expectations with him. Yeah, you just can't say that. Telling the fans to shut the F up, like, you're a freaking lunatic. And could you imagine during that game if he said shut the F up and we lost? Was that the game RJ hit the that was the game RJ hit the buzzer beater game winner, right? I believe so. I remember I was crapping on RJ so much that game because he was not playing well. And then he hit that shot. Like, before that shot, he had like 11 on bad shot, like bad efficiency, got blocked like so many times in that game. He was really good offensively, but defensively, Yeah, his defense does suck. You could say everyone's defense sucked, though. I didn't really think anyone played good. Like, you can't say someone played a good brand of basketball. Quickly, I actually thought played good off the bench. You could say he rushed some shots, but, like, we know what Quickly is. Like, he's gonna take those wild shots, heat check shots, and I'm not mad at it because that is his range. But Burks thought he played okay. Fournier, you could say he played solid for what Fournier is. RJ didn't play the best defensively, but you could say we shouldn't have ran zone. He still finished with 25 points. It's so hard sometimes to grade RJ or really to be fair with RJ sometimes because, like, yeah, he should have had more points, but we froze him out of the offense. It's just the same shit. It's so ridiculous, guys. But for my stat nerds out there that just care about RJ's points per game at this point and his efficiency, I got to be happy. What did he shoot 50% at 25 points? I thought Mitchell was pretty good. He was okay. We know he's the guy. He's someone that we have to do a lot to get him involved. He finished with 10. He was okay. You don't think of RJ as a leader? He's a number 2 option. Well, what's your definition of a leader? I feel like there's different types of leaders. I definitely do think RJ is a leader. Is he someone that's like there's different types like Kawhi? I'm not comparing him to Kawhi. I'm not saying he's as good as Kawhi. Kawhi is a leader, but he's not a vocal leader. If you're talking about a crazy vocal leader, we don't know yet. I feel like we won't know until Randall's off this team. Because you think Randall's gonna let a 21-year-old just say whatever the hell he wants? I don't think so. I don't know. When you have Tibbs there and Randall there, it's interesting. Like it's in some players they become leaders at different ages. People mature at different ages. Yo, what's going on, Legend Z? Congrats on 20K. You hit 20K, right? Or was it 30K? You have a lot of damn subscribers. I'll be losing count out here, but congrats, man. How you doing? Carl says, damn, y'all, I'm thinking who would want Randall between the salary and lack of professionalism? We might have to throw in pick. That's what I said. I believe I said that in my video. We might have to trade a first round draft pick if we like it or not. Because you're not just getting the basketball player. Like, obviously, his emotions go in with being a basketball player. But you're also getting, like, the bad attitude. Maybe that attitude goes away, like, and with another organization, but based off of what he's been doing and the contract, yep. I obviously losing's frustrating. Randall playing, he's not been playing good, so he's frustrated with himself. But I think it's jealousy, Legend Z. I think we're starting to see Randall's true colors. Obi's been playing well lately. The Knicks fans want to see Obi, chanting Obi. It's pretty much RJ's team at this point, and he wants to be that guy. I feel like he just has a huge ego, and he's just really full of himself based off of that one season. Is Julius even a star? Still even a star. I think he's kind of like in that Tobias Harris tier. So, or like Randall's still going to put up numbers, but it's the inefficiency and basketball IQ. But I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking. I'm not a huge fan of egos unless you're freaking like Kevin Durant, freaking LeBron. That's totally different. Those are the best players in the world. But I'm at the point. Just trade Randall to trade him because I'm sorry, but you're crazy if you want to bring back Randall next year. Um, and my man Legend Z was right. And the money's not that bad. He's not on a max contract, but I remember him sending me like, damn. Like I'm not gonna lie though, there was a part of me that was like, there was the risk. If we don't pay him, we're gonna look like a bad organization because he just had a tremendous year. But also, we're like, is he legit? It's 1 year. And Legend Z was like, I don't know about this shit. I don't know. You're right, man. But we just can't risk bringing back Randall. Like, even when Randall is a good basketball player, his play style still stunts the development of young guys, if we like it or not. That ISO crap, and we already know the offense is gonna stay the same with Thibodeau. Like he's stubborn as hell. So, and we can't risk RJ's development. We can't risk RJ getting off to another bad start of the season. And I'm interested to see if Randall's gone, will RJ continue to get off to bad starts of the season? Because I think we should just accept at this point, unless it's just a Randall thing and obviously not consistently getting him involved in the offense, that we just have to accept RJ gets off to shitty starts and finishes strong as hell. Like, what's he averaging now after tonight? He had 25. He's averaging like 21 now, like, or 20.2 points per game. Yeah, he was just playing for a contract, maybe, man. And and it's not even just that. I don't think he could deal with a lot of pressure, dude. Let's see. Would RJ Barrett and Kristaps Porzingis be a good duo? I don't want Porzingis back here personally. Someone that can't stay healthy. I still think he's extremely talented. I know the Wizards just got him there. Like, I don't know what the Wizards are doing though. I know they had to ship out like not the best of contracts to like take on someone with not the best of contract as well, but like they're just mediocre as like. Well, I can't talk. At least we have some young guys though. The Wizards, Hachimura, kind of like Danny's been solid, but they have Beal over there who's on a pretty big contract. Porzingis has a big contract, but they're just. I feel like the Wizards are that team though that never has a direction. Like, I don't know what the Wizards are doing, but I feel like Porzingis' feel for the game's better than Randall's. But I don't want Porzingis back in New York. I don't. I'm someone though. I don't think Beal could be a number one option. You would have to get him a really good point guard. I look at him as I don't think he's as good as D Book, but we'll never really get to see what Beal is if you don't surround him with much. Yeah, we're not making the plan. It's completely out of it now. Um but Legacy, that's a good question, man, because we've been jumping from like we've been going from the 8, like we're probably gonna finish, well, you never know in the lottery. My guy is Benedict Mathurin from Arizona. I'm a huge fan of him, but we're probably not getting him. He played tremendous in the tournament, and he has so much potential. Like, I want another guy next to RJ. I want another wing next to RJ, someone that brings a different element of athleticism, could shoot the ball, shot creation, defense. I feel like we need more of that until RJ learns to shoot better off the dribble. Obviously a point guard, but this sadly, Legacy, I was gonna say that, but this is a shitty point guard draft class. I do like Kennedy Chandler from Tennessee, though. I would not be mad if we trade him. I know he's only 6 foot, but he plays taller than 6 foot. He has a good handle. He can shoot it well. He has that floater. He's good at changing directions, like catching guys on his hip. Like, he's not saying he's gonna be a Trae Young, Chris Paul, one of the top point guards, but he has those traits of being a good point guard. Ty Washington, I feel like he's gonna be hit or miss. He's either gonna be good or I'm not completely sold on those guys or sold on Ty Washington personally. What do you think's worse, being a Knicks fan or a Lakers fan? Well, right now it sucks for both, but Knicks fan, Lakers just won a championship a couple of years ago. Like, we haven't won one since '73. Oh, I would freaking love that. Donovan Mitchell and RJ. Oh, what would we give up though? I feel like we would obviously if we would have to trade, we would have to give up a lot. I want Donovan Mitchell, obviously, though. We would have to find a way to hold on to RJ, but yeah, RJ and Mitchell together would be nice. I'm not gonna get my hopes up though. I've done that too much as a Knicks fan. But I don't know what's so attractive about the Knicks though compared to the Jazz. Like, the culture doesn't look that great right now. Thibodeau may not even be here moving forward, which I've always felt as he's someone that's going to come in and win games, but he's not going to be the long-term coach to really get a lot out of the young guys. But like, he was going to establish the culture in a way. But Randall's going to be gone. Like, I don't know. Why would he want to come here and leave the Jazz? I know that I don't think he's winning anything with the Jazz, but I don't know. Mahir says, what do you think about Jeremy Grant for Randall? I don't know about Jeremy Grant's Does he have attitude issues? If he doesn't have attitude issues, I'll take on his contract. I don't want him long term. Don't get me wrong. He's kind of like Randall in a way that he's not a number one option, but he thinks he's one. He plays defense though, which I like. But I don't watch crazy amount of Pistons basketball, so maybe he's kind of reduced his role. Cunningham's been playing out of his mind lately though. Cunningham, he may win Rookie of the Year. The numbers he's putting up, and I don't care what anyone says, it's Rookie of the Year. It's not the most valuable rookie. Wins should not be involved when it comes to the Rookie of the Year award. It should not be involved at all. I understand what Mobley's doing, Barnes is doing, and I love both of those guys. But Cunningham's in one of the worst situations, and he's freaking balling out. Would you be okay with the Knicks trading for Fultz? If we can get him on really cheap, I wouldn't mind that. If we barely give up anything, but there's injury concerns with him as well. The Spurs are... Legends, I have a question for you. We don't talk a lot, but you know my favorite player on the Spurs. You can go back when I first started this channel, and it's aged really well. I said the most underrated young player in the NBA, or potential to be a star, the most underrated young player in the league. You know who that is. Might have been a little clickbait, but he still is. Cade with an elite big is going to be scary. I would love... Oh, with Chet. Chet is so interesting. Like, he has the upside, but I really think Chet should stay another year. I know it would hurt his draft stock, and I know it's just scare with injuries. Not Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson. I love Keldon Johnson, man. I do like Vassell, though. But Chet should stay another year. He should not be taken first overall. He's still going to go top 5, but he should not be first. Knicks were undefeated when I went this season, just saying. What's going on, Avery? I'm not going to fall for any of those reports. I'm not. I'm done. Tired of that. I'll still make videos on it if there's reports that come out about that. But not getting my hopes up. Oh, I agree. Paulo should definitely be number 1. I agree with that. And I feel like Jabari Smith, there's some questions with how he could shoot off the dribble. His handle's not the best, but he played in the worst possible situation you could play in. He played with the worst guards ever. Like, sometimes you're like, why is he shooting that deep 3? Because his guards put him in that position. Oh, I believe Randall wants out. It's just still fishy that why isn't Ian Begley reported on it? But I believe he wants out. It's just being a Knicks fan, you never know what to believe, though. You know what I mean? But I'm still being cautious because I'm a Knicks fan. It's never happening. I wish we would get luck like the Pelicans get the freaking first overall pick somehow. But I'm actually kind of glad we got RJ over Zion because Zion, that looks like a mess. Jaw is a different story. RJ's my guy, though. I'm not going to freaking complain about not getting Jaw, though, even though Jaw is one of the best players in the game and an MVP candidate. But I'm happy with RJ. RJ's been he's been frustrating me a lot throughout his career. I don't know why he gets off to these shitty starts. Well, I know why he doesn't consistently get the ball. He's Julius Randle on his team. But what the Knicks position? But I trade for Westbrook. We would obviously trade Randle. What's Westbrook have? Only 1 more year left on his contract. So, oh gosh, actually, Westbrook with freaking RJ, I'm out. Never. I know he only has 1 more year left on his contract, but god damn. I actually think Westbrook would like playing in New York, though. Could you imagine him with the freaking New York media? Actually, that would be kind of a mess. But him in Madison Square Garden would be fun. But he's, I'm good. He's washed, Legend Z. He's bad. Sadly, his knees are done. Don't start with Westbrook's a point guard, yeah, and I'm an NBA player. No, Kemba's a great guy. I wish him the best of luck. There's rumors, though, Legend Z, that he may go to Charlotte. But I don't know, man. His body's breaking down. I don't know if we'll be his last team, or I think he'll still get an opportunity somewhere else, though. But I'm not gonna lie, I was excited for Kemba because this was the good thing, though. We didn't. I love that he was bought out and we got him on a cheap contract. Could you imagine if we still had him on that deal he was on from like Boston, I believe, and then he went to OKC, got bought out. Could you imagine if he wasn't playing, he was still on that big deal, and we gave up a lot? We just signed him to like he making $8 million. Hey, I'm actually down with that. Just bring in Jeremy Lin. Bring in Jeremy Lin. Bring him in. Bring in Doug Eater. Yeah, bring in Eater, man. Bring in the go with Doug Eater. See that mustache knocking down threes. They were completely outmatched when it came to talent against North Carolina, but what a story that was. The last time a New Jersey team, I believe, in college basketball made the Sweet 16 or like made it past the Sweet 16 or made it past like the first round. I'm trying to think of the stat. Their coach or their he's not their coach anymore. Shaheen Holloway, he was on that Seton Hall team. Like the last time. Like the last time New Jersey made it that far, like their coach was all part of that team. But that sucks though. He just left the team and he was like, F you guys, I'm going to Seton Hall. I know he played for them, so he has that connection, but I believe Eater, he's only a junior though. He has one more year. What the fuck was my reaction? Legacy. But that was kind of like in my earlier Knicks fan days, because what was I, only 7 or 8 years old? So I was like, shit, we suck, but we got something to be excited about. Lasted a week, literally. I've been a number one Eater fan for a week now. Don't call me a bandwagon. When did I start watching basketball? Probably like 7 or 8 years old. Maybe before that though. Like my dad probably put me in front of like a television screen of basketball, but I just don't remember when I was younger. But there's like pictures of me as a baby rocking NBA stuff and playing basketball. Oh, RJ definitely has that it factor. He definitely does. Well, how would you grade RJ tonight, guys? How would you grade RJ tonight? You have to obviously put everything into context. Avery, we're just gonna. This is a message from me and Avery. RJ, we don't know why you do this shit, or we don't know why the Knicks hate you, why Randall barely gives you the ball, and why we barely get you involved. Let's just say, RJ, we were hard on you, but it's the freaking coaching staff's fault. If we just consistently gave him the ball, we would have knew what RJ was, and we wouldn't have freaking doubted his ass. Literally, when RJ's off, he looks like the worst player ever. Like the freaking beginning of the season, scary as shit. But thank you, RJ. And I'm not going to overreact next year if you get off to a bad start. I probably will, but it is what it is. See what we got here. Yeah, Randall's jealous of RJ and Obi. He's jealous of everything, bro. Oh, gosh. Whew. You know what I was watching today, though? I could put that on a blooper reel or whatever. I was watching when Randall was, like, putting the thumbs down to the Knicks fans. And they zoomed in on Kaiden and Kendra. And Kendra looks scared as shit. And I really wonder what goes through Kaiden's head when he sees his dad do this crazy shit. I really do. I'm not saying Randall's a bad father, but I actually think Randall is a good father. But he's just a lunatic on the court, man. Like, holy shit. Like, what goes... If I was Kaiden that age and I see my father telling fans shut the F up and putting the thumbs down, like, I'll just be like, what the hell is my dad doing? Like, but Legacy says, I would love to see a reaction to a Knicks championship one day because I still remember how happy we were when the Knicks. Yeah, that was my freaking championship, man. That was our championship, making the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. Yeah, I would love to see the Knicks win a championship. Please. Just visit my grave if we do. B plus RJ. I feel like, well, that was an interesting free agency class. So signing Randall was our consolation prize. You could say it was filled with consolation prizes. What they were saying, at least this is what the analysts were saying. We didn't end up with Ja or Zion. We settled for the consolation prize, or we had no choice. Got RJ with the third overall pick. Supposed to get Kevin Durant. Supposed to get Kyrie Irving. Struck out on those guys, or apparently that's what the report said. We were supposed to get those guys, didn't. Then it was like, oh, we're gonna settle for Kyrie or Jimmy Butler, or not Kyrie or Jimmy Butler. We're gonna settle for Kemba or Jimmy Butler. Didn't get one of those guys. Kemba went to Boston, and then we saw Jimmy go to Miami, and we didn't get shit. So the Knicks were like, let's bring in Randall. He has talent. He's young. I think he was like 24, 25 when we got him. He came off of a 20-point per game year with the Pelicans. He's not the best of fit with over there in New Orleans. Like, he's a starting caliber player, but they have Anthony Davis over there. So we're like, why not? Let's bring him in. And I wasn't mad at it. I want to like put out there on Twitter, like, I go back in my Snapchat when I was texting my boy Dom. I literally texted him. Like, we struck out on Kyrie on Durant. Kyrie and Durant, okay. Let's go out there and get Randall. I believe he has something. I need to screenshot that and put that on Twitter. I'm not even lying. I wanted Julius Randle. I'm not even lying. And I think some Knicks fans actually did if we struck out because we thought it was kind of like a low risk, high reward type of move. But we signed Taj Gibson that season. We signed Marcus Morris that offseason after he was supposed to go to the Spurs. We signed Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock. We signed so many freaking forwards. Like, it was just ridiculous. It was such. We signed Bobby Portis. Like, I don't watch that much Timberwolves basketball. I know he's had some good games. Like, I feel like he's playing underrated basketball. We just don't know because it's like Minnesota, and they're good this year. That's crazy. Minnesota's good. Credit to Chris Finch though. Someone made a Timberwolves video. I forgot who it was, and they didn't mention the coach at all. If you're the reason the Knicks are in the freaking, or the reason the Timberwolves are freaking competing for the playoffs, like, you deserve Coach of the Year consideration, in my opinion. Okay, well, I apologize. I cursed Keldon Johnson. No, the Spurs just lost on a Keldon Johnson in and out missed layup. Yeah, he has had like some injury stuff going on throughout his career. I like Russell still though. Bobby the GOAT. He's balling in Milwaukee though. Bobby Portis, ooh, he's sniping it from the corner. And he actually did a really good job when Brook Lopez was out. I know he's not the best defensively compared to Brook Lopez. He's gotten better though, compared to when he was with the Knicks. Um, but he stepped in when Lopez was out and played well. Yes, a sports fan. I remember Marcus Morris hit a player with the ball on the Wizards. Yeah, Justin Anderson. He was sizing him up like this, doing the mellow, about to get a triple threat, and just pulling it right off his head in a preseason game. Who the hell does that? Or who does that in general? They're menaces, bro. I remember that. We didn't deserve this, Big Task says. Or we don't deserve this, yeah, being Knicks fans. I think Taj Gibson should just retire. I don't know what's going on with him. We don't play him anymore. Good thing. Well, sometimes we do. Hopefully, our losing years will be over soon, like the Suns' losing years are. Chris Paul and having Chris Paul definitely helps. And getting the number one overall pick, getting A in draft. That's number one. That's one of the top things. They drafted well. Booker, A in traded for Mikal Bridges, drafted Cam Johnson. I'm not going to say we would be on that same level, but if the Knicks drafted well, we'd be doing pretty damn well. Shout out to Kevin Knox. I know we played some Mickey Mouses tonight on the Oklahoma City Thunder, but what do you have? Did you guys see that shit? What do you have? 10 points in a minute? It was something crazy like that. Finished with 15, I believe. I don't need to look back at the box score. How do you feel when Trae Young always goes off versus New York? He's a competitor. He loves playing at Madison Square Garden. I hate that he kills us, but I respect him. But yeah, I get mad because he's so freaking good. That should have been put in an oddly satisfying compilation. Mickey Mouses. Oh, that should have been put. Wait, what? What in a satisfying compilation? Hot take. Everyone. All right, Legacy. Hot take. Everyone in this chat's a better fit than Randall. Gosh. I'll be live for a couple more minutes. I appreciate you guys being here. Trying to do more live streams. I feel like they're more fun. I like doing the recap videos. You could say they're better for my channel. They gain more views and traction, but I like interacting with you guys. But we'll see what Knox does over there. Will he get more minutes after that? Or is it they're going to be like, you played the freaking Thunder, bud. Take a seat. My left nut is better fit than Randall. Who didn't Ennis Cantor say that? I think it was Ennis Cantor that said that. He kills us every time. Nasri, he's pretty solid from Minnesota. I don't watch him a lot, though, because I don't watch a lot of Minnesota basketball. Yo, it's not a hot take, but just a take. The Timberwolves should be on national television more. The Timberwolves are freaking disrespected on national television. Like, I'm tired of seeing the freaking Lakers. They freaking suck ass. Like, take them off of national television. I'm tired of seeing them. Yeah, LeBron's going to drop 40, but they're going to lose by 40, so what the hell's the point of that? Like, they're not even fun to watch. Who enjoys watching them? I enjoy watching LeBron. Besides that, what the fuck? Or even the Mavericks sometimes. Like, Luka's somewhat fun to watch. We know he has a step back, but he's not like a crazy sexy player to watch. I don't know. Sometimes the Mavericks, I feel like, are on there too much. Yo, Legends, I actually live in South Jersey, though, so I get the Sixers channel, so I was able to watch that. But, yeah, that was an insane game. But, yeah, that's so stupid. Maybe because they already played once, but, like, play them again on national television. But, yo, guys, I don't know if you guys watched that game last night or go back and watch the highlights or something. Well, first off, Joel Embiid's amazing. We know that. Doc Rivers should be freaking fired. He just limits the ceiling of that basketball team. They don't know how to execute down the stretch to save their freaking lives. They take the worst shots. He doesn't draw up shit. He's kind of like Tom Thibodeau. No one wants to say it. Doc Rivers kind of like Tom Thibodeau. Better offensive coach, but I don't know what to say. The Sixers, they had to take the risk and trade for Harden. I don't think that shit's going to work out. I don't. They had to take the risk, though. They did. But Giannis had 41, I believe. And it wasn't just old driving down the lane. I think he hit, what was it, 1 or 2 threes. He hit a clutch-ass deep 2 off the dribble. Those fadeaways, you pretty much know they're going in now from the baseline. It's crazy to say, what's Giannis, 27, 28? He's not even at his ceiling because he's been improving his jump shot the last 2 years. It's ridiculous. It's freaking ridiculous. In my opinion, again, no one wants to say it. Giannis the MVP. Giannis the MVP. Yeah, DeAndre Jordan, he's allowing, what is it, 70% at the rim? Yeah, it's the same Blaine shit. Giannis, Keldon, Schengen, Dream pick. Not wrong. Yo, I didn't even talk to you, MH. What was it the other night? Shengun had 27. My boy Shengun. My boy Şengün. By the way, the Rockets' future been looking nice lately. Jalen Green, he's been on a tear lately. The top 2 picks been on a tear. Cunningham's been unbelievable. But Green, I don't know how many finished with tonight, but a lot of people are quick to call him a bust. But yeah, Christopher, who looks pretty solid. Yeah, Şengün. Yeah, Green. I like their young guys. I like Tate. He's not young though, because he played overseas, I believe. Like he was a rookie last year, the year before, but he's over like 25 years old, something ridiculous like that. I don't know if Christian Wood's the best fit, but I tried telling people about Şengün. I tried. I tried. Don't ever disrespect MH. MH, don't ever disrespect Şengün like that. Maybe I am overhyping his ceiling, but we all know he's Sabonis. We all know he's better than Jokic. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Legacy says, what happened to Suggs? Yo, Suggs been bad. He's been the ultimate rookie. He's had some solid games, bad games. I looked up his stats. Last time I checked, so he's shooting under 40% from the field. Don't get me wrong, he's in a weird situation with Fultz. Well, Fultz has barely played with but they have Cole Anthony Hampton. They have some guards over there. So you could say it's not the best of fit. But Suggs is shooting under 40% from the field the last time I checked. And the last time I checked, he was shooting under 25% from 3. He's a good defender. He's athletic. He's a good passer. But gosh, his shot has been ass. And he's a rookie, though I'm not going to kill him. But I had some conversations with my man MH. I like Suggs. I like him. I don't love him. Because I kept on saying this. Like, he doesn't play that great against that. Like, I know he had a couple nice games in the tournament, but there were so many games last year when he was in Gonzaga that he would barely put up a lot of points versus like these low tier schools. But he's a rookie. We'll see what happens. But he's also in the Magic. I'm kidding. Franz Wagner's been better. But yeah, he hasn't been that great. Legend Z. What's going on, Alex? How you doing, man? Obviously frustrated. Season's over anyway, though, so we could get the plain hopes out the window. Oh, that guy that was on the Bucks, I think he got waived. Is he back overseas? That's cool, Drew. I still think Suggs could be good. I'm just busting your balls, man. All veterans I want gone except Rose, out of Burks, and Tosh. If we play Burks the right way off the bench, not a freaking point guard, yeah, I want Burks back. But if we're able to draft someone and they have what Burks can bring to the table and is more efficient and like can read the floor better, then yeah, trade Burks or get rid of him or let him go. No, Frank's a bust. For where he was picked, he's a bust. Frank's a bust. Man, all my teams are depressing. I'm used to it at this point. Hey, at least I'll say this. I know Knox had his freaking 15 points in 10 minutes versus Plumbers tonight, but I'm obviously joking. They're NBA players that can whoop my ass. Acceptance. I saw that image. I know Knox had his 15 or whatever, but at least it feels good. I don't root for players to fail, but there's a part of me that kind of wants them to fail when we let them go or we trade them because I don't want us to look stupid. So it's good seeing Frank not look like a fantastic player or Knox look like a fantastic player. Because it looks like, yeah, the Knicks screwed up drafting them, but we didn't screw up like trading them or letting them go. Oh, 17, my bad. But he scored the ball well. Like I saw, he literally had like double digits in 1 minute. I'm going to have to go back and watch those highlights. I'm not even going to lie. There's a part of me. But you saw the Blazers versus Thunder injury report. Yeah, it's insane, man. Yeah, I'll go live for 1 more minute. Been live nearly an hour. I feel Frank's going to find his niche in a few years in France. Next, Kevin Durant, Avery. This man's a bona fide scrub. I want him too, Michael. But we'll have to jump up the lottery because we've been winning games down the stretch, of course. Because he's not soft. Like, you watch that guy in the tournament, he is fearless. He is not scared of shit when you watch him play, Benedict. And he's Canadian too. I can just see it now with RJ and Benedict, like Canadian duo right there. Yeah, that's a good question. Who wants Randall? But I'm not even lying. Like, we would have to probably give up a first round draft pick because his attitude's been that bad and the contract and him not living up to expectations just to get him off this team. I hope we wouldn't have to do that because I feel like that would kind of hurt our future. But I would literally take Harrison Barnes. I literally would. Yeah, Barnes isn't great for his contract, but he's still a solid player. So I didn't say he was good, and he doesn't have attitude issues. At this point, I just want someone that's bought in, and Randall's not. Fournier was a beast for France. Then he signs the Knicks, and everyone's getting. He's been pretty well. He's played pretty well lately. For what Fournier is, he's been playing like Evan Fournier lately. He's a solid player. He's just not a starter. Frank needs to go to the Spurs, a good defensive team with a strong offensive structure. I've been saying that for years, but who knows? He might just suck. Sorry, Frank. Imagine the Lakers trade for Randall. He fights LeBron. It's weird. I'll say I never like to say someone's weak mentally. I probably said it in the video before. Because obviously that's serious. When you're talking about someone's mental health, it's like, it's very serious. You could say he's soft, but he's not at the same time. He lets people get to him. But if we're being real, would you want to see Randall in a dark alleyway? No, he'd probably beat your ass. Obviously. Or you better. But he's just a lunatic. What's going on, Buzzer Beater? How you doing, man? How you doing? I wanted Kenny Atkinson from the start. I did. That's who me and MH wanted, I believe. He's not some. It's just the thing, though. We'd probably have to move on from him, too. Because he's someone that would help the young guys, but his rotations aren't the best as well. And I don't see us winning a championship like with him or competing for one. We need someone that knows how to freaking win games, but knows we need to find someone with flexibility that can adapt to today's NBA, play the young guys, look towards the future. That's impossible to do, I know. Like there's different types of coaches, but we need to find a damn versatile coach that knows how to coach both sides of the ball, for God's sake. No, Mike Woodson, he's happy coaching in Indiana. I miss Mike Woodson, though, man. I love Mike Woodson. But you guys, I'm going to head out. I've been live for an hour and 3 minutes. Anyone that's tuning in late, it's all right. You'll be able to rewatch the live stream. I really appreciate your support. Nick Nurse, yeah, that's someone I freaking love. Obviously, he's not coming here. Like, he's going to be in Toronto forever, but we need a type of coach like him, Monty Williams. But let me know down below your thoughts on this game if we're watching afterwards. Great talking to you too, Legends. Great talking to you, Michael. Buzz Beater tuning in late. I appreciate you, though. MH, just everyone. Thank you, guys. Drew. But stay safe. Have a good night, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hopefully the Knicks somehow turn this shit around. Yeah, the streak was nice. The streak was pretty solid.